This is something that's very interesting for cats. There's no such thing as one size fits all. Every pet is different, so you never put a dog product on a cat. To summarize, we're light years ahead with these oxazolines. These products here in the front row are much safer than we started out 25 years ago with the dips. If anybody wants to comment below, I'll get back with you. If you like our channel, share it, send it around with your friends, subscribe to us, and watch for more. What I did was I went to Walmart, and I went to Target, and I went to PetSmart, and I just took pictures of all the products that they have on the shelves. And then I went online and looked around to try and give you an overview of what's available on the market now, and so explain to you what's happening with the flea and tick products. So I think the interesting way, probably the most educational way would be to go about it, would be just talk about the history of flea and tick products. This is a dip, and apparently they still sell dips in the stores. If we look on this side, there's a little bubble here. You squeeze that bottle and you can measure out an ounce of that dip and put it in a gallon jug. And what we used to do is we would put this, we don't dip the dogs down in it like in a vat, but we take that and we dip it over top of them and soak their skin down with this dip. So this dip is made of a permethrin. And that permethrin will repel fleas and ticks and also kills fleas and ticks. Unfortunately, it's not the safest thing. The material safety data sheet, it says that permethrins are potentially cancer-causing chemicals to humans. And one of the big recommendations on this dip, they have this for sale online, and right on the same website they have a material safety data sheet telling you not to put it on your skin, that you should wear long pants and long shirt and gloves when you use this dip, and don't get it in your eyes. So what are you doing with the dip? You're taking it, you put it on your dog, and you're soaking it down to the skin with him. So the permethrin on the skin is not a good idea. And so this is one of the older products, and believe it or not, I used to recommend this to my patients and my clients. 25 years ago when I started, we had a bunch of different dips. We had the organophosphates and carbamates, the really strong dips, and these dips were very toxic. And some of the dips were so strong that they had to be dispensed by a veterinarian. And they come with a little glass bottle, and you had a little tiny measuring syringe to measure out these dips precisely. And when I was in high school, that was one of my jobs, was I had this paramite dip that I would be in the back with big gloves on and dipping dogs to try to kill the ticks and fleas. And it's kind of scary to think about nowadays that a lot of those dips have been taken off the market. But anyhow, at that time, these permethrins were the safest products available. They're not to say that they're safe. It was the best thing that we had at the time. And the reason they're still around, I think, is there's no, make no mistake about it, this is a money-making deal here. This company, or any company, they have the license to produce a certain product, and as long as they can keep selling it and making a profit, they're going to keep selling it. Just because it's available doesn't mean it's the best thing around. So there are much better things around now than there have been. So we used to use dips, and then we would use sprays, if you remember. You would do a lot of flea spray. We would do flea spray because the dip did not last a full month, but you could not dip them more often than once a month because the dip is so toxic it would make the dog or the cat very sick. So we would have to use sprays in between to try to keep the coverage going. So flea sprays, flea dips, collars. A lot of flea collars have permethrins in them. There's a couple flea collars on the market now, and you may have heard of this Seresto collar. It is not actually a permethrin, but it is, I can't read that, flumethrin maybe. It is a derivative of permethrins. Here's another Adams flea and tick product is another one. This I think is deltamethrin, but these are different types of the same chemical, permethrins. And so if the thing I have against collars is they don't always work as well. You have a good concentration of the product around their neck, but you don't have it over their whole body. What if the dog eats the permethrin collar? Then you can have a toxic product that's being ingested by the dog. If it says don't put these products on your skin, you're putting it on the dog's skin. The dog sleeps in the bed with you, he's rubbing it on your skin. if it's potentially cancer causing. We don't know that, and I don't know that for sure with these particular products because they're not made of the original permethrin. However, I think it's better to be safe than sorry. So that's not my preference. So as that came along, if we talk about 25 years ago when we were doing collars and dips and sprays, the next thing that came out were topical products. And they were still from the same line of products as permethrins. So this is here's a veterinary product that has permethrin among two other things that are insect growth regulators. So there's a Spot-On product that's a permethrin. Here's the Hearts product that is a permethrin that you can find at different places over the counter. And so these are the things that we struggled with for many years. And I remember when Program came out, is probably the year I graduated from vet school, or maybe a year after that, 94, 95, and Program came out. And it was a miracle. We thought this was so amazing. It was a pill for fleas. The Program is lufenuron, is a insect growth regulator. And it sterilized the female flea so that the eggs that she would lay would not hatch. It didn't kill the fleas, it just made them sterile. So they would not reproduce. And a big part of the flea problem is the environment. Is that you take a flea, say you had one flea in your house, which is almost impossible to have one flea, but say you had one female flea and she laid 30 eggs a day. It's those 30 eggs a day that she's laying, and they keep hatching out and going into the larva and the pupa stage. Those are the big problem. The one flea is not the problem. It's the 30 eggs a day that she's laying is a problem. So this Program is only for fleas, and only sterilizes the female, so it only keeps the eggs from hatching. It doesn't kill the fleas. So it doesn't do anything for ticks. But at the time, it was the safest product, and it was a wonderful thing. We thought it was great. And there's another product here, Comfortis, is spinosad, which is also an insect growth regulator, which is great for adjunct treatment. It helps out with the fleas, but it doesn't do anything for ticks. So this comes into our consideration. I'm not saying any of these products are bad. I'm just saying they all have different pluses and minuses. But there's newer products available that have more pluses and minuses. So the next thing that came out was Advantage. And it came out, and it was a wonderful product, Advantage. And now they have Advantage 2. And the Advantage was it would kill the fleas, and also had an insect growth regulator added to it to prevent the fleas from hatching. And it was wonderful. So that first came out. That was a great thing. And then the very next year, Frontline came out. So these two companies had a big war for the market share. Who's going to get all your money? Is which one is better? And the Frontline, the great thing about it is it kills fleas and ticks. So it put Advantage to shame. It's like, you got one product, it's safe, it's effective for fleas and ticks. It has the insect growth regulator, stops the reproduction of the fleas. It's a great product. So then as Advantix came out, because Advantage had to have something that killed ticks, so they come up with Advantix. And what is Advantix? It is Advantage, which is a very safe, effective product, with a permethrin added to it. So that's why I don't really like it, because of that permethrin product. And you're putting that topical permethrin, is just like the concentrated dip. You're putting it on your dog, and then he's getting in the bed with you and rubbing it on you, or sitting in your lap, or you're petting him and you're rubbing that product on you. So the Frontline, I think, is much more safe and much more effective. And it was the market leader for a very long time, and and that's why it's been so popular, and people always know the name of it. So as we went on through history, Frontline had control of that market for a very long time, and they had the patent on the product. Well, then it went off patent, and then you can get generic products that come available. So we have generic products available that are, this is another form of Frontline. This one is called Pet Action Plus, and it is like the Frontline Plus. Well, there's a generic for the Advantix, and this one is called Advecta 3, which is, I think, might be, I got this one at Target maybe. It might be the Target brand. Then there's Pet Armor Plus, which is made by Sargents. For a long time, we only had Hearts and Sargents were the big leaders in flea and tick control. But Pet Armor is like Frontline. Petlock Max is like Advantix. This is, then you have Dog MD Plus, which is like Frontline. It has the fipronil and the S-methoprene. So it has the fipronil that kills the fleas and ticks and the S-methoprene that is the insect growth regulator. If anyone has a question or a comment or something to add, please comment below in the comment section and I'll be happy to get back with you on that. So the Advantage and the Frontline Wars went along, and here's a Dog MD Advanced 2, which is like Advantix. So all these generic products are on the market. Well, the Frontline company and the salespeople will tell you that the Frontline product has a patented mobile molecule that migrates over the dog's skin, and that's why you put it in one spot and it coats the entire dog, and then it protects them for a month from fleas and ticks. And that these other generics may have the same active ingredients, but they don't have that mobile molecule that causes it to spread over their body. And I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I think that I have seen in my experience that the generic products, I think they're safe, the ones for Frontline. I don't know about Advantix, especially, I don't know if this one has it on here, but if you look at some of these products have a sign on here that says no cats. Cats are very sensitive to permethrins. And so what does that tell you? You know, there's some toxic product in there that cats cannot have it. And every year we'll see cats come in here and they're seizuring and they're having muscle twitching and they're having a bad reaction to a flea product. So you never put a dog product on a cat. The generic products, in my experience, I haven't seen them work as well. And I'd like to also say that this is, again, just my anecdotal experience. My opinion is that I don't think Frontline works as well as it used to. And there could be a reason for that. It could be that there's becoming resistance of fleas and ticks to the Frontline product. It could be that people like the Frontline so well, they believe in it, they're not putting it on every month like they're supposed to. It's hard to say. But I've seen that there's a decrease. So then somewhere along the lines came out Revolution. And they called it Revolution because this is revolutionary. It's going to solve all your problems. And that you didn't need any of these other products. This is the latest and greatest thing. Well, it turned out it wasn't that revolutionary. It is great because it treats heartworms. It treats fleas. In dogs, it is proven to treat the American dog tick. That's interesting. Only one tick. It's only been proven. They say that it'll treat more ticks, but they haven't got it on the label for more than one tick. Well, the Ixodes tick is the one that transmits Lyme disease. I want to be sure that we're treating that tick. You know, the American dog tick is good, but does it really treat all the other ticks? It treats ear mites. It'll treat sarcoptic mange. So it treats a lot of different things. And in cats, it will treat fleas, heartworms, hookworms, and roundworms. So this is something that's very interesting for cats, because heartworm is a parasite of dogs, and it likes to live in the dog, but if it ever gets in a cat, it can cause terrible, terrible symptoms in a cat. It causes terrible heart disease and lung disease in cats because it's in an aberrant host. It's like it's not meant to be in the cat, so it goes in there and it wreaks havoc. So we want to prevent heartworms in cats. And for years I've been trying to get cat owners to give their cat a pill every month to prevent heartworms. Well, you can imagine people don't like to do that. Cats don't like it, people don't like it, and after a couple months of that, they're like, I'm not doing this heartworm thing. But the Revolution, if we can treat for fleas and ticks and treat for heartworms, that's a great thing. That's a great thing for cats. So it is revolutionary, but we'll be more on that right now because I said that it doesn't quite treat ticks yet, but we have something interesting coming up. The next thing are these new isoxazoline class of drugs. So we have Bravecto is a chewable tablet that dogs can take, and it prevents fleas and ticks for 1 month. No, 3 months, sorry. Bravecto is every 3 months. So that's a great thing. And what we found with that is it's very effective because it takes me out of the equation as the pet owner. When I'm supposed to be putting the Frontline on my dog every 30 days, I sometimes do it every 35 days, sometimes I do it every 25 days, sometimes I do it every 40 days, you know. But this Bravecto is in their system for 3 months straight, and it's interrupting that flea life cycle. It's killing all those fleas, and any eggs that hatch out and get on the dog, they're going to be killed too for 3 months. I've seen some incredible results with dogs with flea allergies that just clear up with the treatment of Bravecto, not even with any other medications. So that's impressive. So in Bravecto is fluorolahner is the active ingredient. We have Simparica, which is Cereloner. We have NexGard, which is Afoxolaner. And then we have Credelio, which is Lotilaner. So those are all similar products in the same isoxazoline group. The Bravecto is approved and effective for 3 months, where these other tablets are only effective for 1 month. And so when in choosing a flea and tick control, I say let's look at what is the easiest, what is the most effective, what is the best buy for our money. And we find that the Bravecto, it seems to be all of those things right now. And what we try to do here at the Family Vet is try to do the research for people and find the very best products. So this is why we carry the Bravecto at our practice. There's no such thing as one size fits all. Every pet is different. This Bravecto is an easy way and a cheap and effective way to treat your pet for 3 months for fleas and ticks. We still carry the Frontline Gold. This is the Frontline, which is fipronil, and it has 2 other insect growth regulators. It has the pyriproxine and S-methoprene in here. So this is the best Frontline available on the market because some people believe in Frontline, they love Frontline, it still works really well. But you have to do this every month. These are drops you put on the back of their neck, where this is a pill you give once every 3 months, which to me this is easier. I have one dog that won't eat the pill, and I just put a little peanut butter on it and she gobbles it right down. So that's it. I do that once every 3 months, I'm done. Some people cannot get a pill down their dog and they want to do the topical treatment. That's why we have the 2 options. And then this Revolution, we keep this on hand because it treats sarcoptic mange. It treats some other ear mites and different things that we can use it for. But as far as expense wise, it doesn't treat all the ticks. It only has that 1 tick that it kills. So if you're going to do a flea and tick product, I would rather do the Bravecto where I know I'm killing all those ticks. And if you're going to do a flea product, you would do one of these 2 as well. But this Revolution also treats for heartworms. So in some specific cases, it's better to have the Revolution. But this new thing that's very interesting is Revolution Plus, and we don't have it for dogs yet, but it's come out for cats. Revolution Plus is Cereloner, which is one of those isoxazolines, similar to the Bravecto, so it kills fleas and ticks, and it also has all the active ingredients of Revolution. So for cats, this is a wonderful thing. It's very effective for fleas and ticks. It is also treating for heartworms, it's treating for hookworms and roundworms. It's doing a great job for cats. And it's easy, you put drops on the back of their neck once a month, and that's the best treatments for cats. So I think for fleas and ticks, if you want to boil it down to a nutshell, I would say the Bravecto is the best for dogs, and right now Revolution is the best for cats. All these companies are trying, to win the next race, to have the best product, and so heartworm prevention and other parasites are something we consider. Fleas and ticks are a big thing as people see them and they don't like them, but the heartworm and the other parasites can be very serious for your pet's health. So just like this Revolution Plus, you have 2 products combined in one. I'm hoping that we're going to have something for dogs that would treat heartworms, fleas, ticks, roundworms, hookworms, sarcoptic mange. It would be great to have an all-in-one product that's very safe. But anyhow, to summarize, we're light years ahead with these isoxazolines. These products here in the front row are much safer than we started out 25 years ago with the dips. You still see those dips and those permethrin products still on the market, and it's because they're available, a lot of people use them, but it's really not the best. And it's kind of unusual in that the permethrins are over-the-counter products. You can buy them off the shelf at Walmart, whereas some of these products, like this product, is a prescription product you can only get at your veterinarian or buy a prescription from your veterinarian. And why is that? Well, this is a pill they take by mouth, and it goes into their system, into their bloodstream, so it's considered a medication. It's considered a drug by the FDA. So the FDA regulates this product, whereas a flea spray is a pesticide that is sprayed on the dog or on the carpet to kill fleas. And so a flea spray would be considered a pesticide that is treated by the EPA. So the Environmental Protection Agency is in charge of pesticides, the FDA is in charge of drugs. So once a product gets pigeonholed into one of those two categories, then they go through a whole different licensing system and how it is treated and dispensed. If anybody wants to comment below, I'll get back with you. If you like our channel, share it, send it around with your friends, subscribe to us, and watch for more. If you have any ideas of what you want to hear next week on Facebook Live, please comment below, and I'll be happy to try to work something up for you.